All right, what's good, fam? Live and direct on a nice Tuesday evening, bruh. About 2 minutes late, 3 minutes late, but we all good because we cook. So we're still going over the Tate and PBD interview because, as I've been saying, there's just a lot of important shit that I can drag out of this shit. So we're gonna keep going over that shit. Make sure to share that shit right now, and we move fast on this shit. So we're gonna jump right into it. I get right to yapping, bruh. Y'all just hop in and fuck with your boy.
They say, I watched your videos, you changed my whole life. And I meet them for 5 minutes and I shake their hand. It becomes their story for the week. I can have an influence on people quickly because
Oh yeah, this is him talking about the. This is right where I left off. Where I was talking about the idea about how it's important to be a good father. Basically, to be a good father, the point is to have quality of information to pass on to your kids. And actually, it made me think of something else too. Like it made me realize that whenever you're thinking about who was supposed to teach you something, like what you always say is you're like what your father didn't teach you. It's not what your mother didn't teach you. It's always what your father didn't teach you. And this just goes to show how like the roles of men and women in a child's life is completely different. It's like your mom is just supposed to take care of you, but your father is supposed to be there to teach you about the world. But how can your father teach you about the world if he's constantly with your dumbass? You know what I'm saying? Like if you're a kid and your father's around all the time and you're seeing him all the time, how is he out in the world doing important stuff that he can come or bring back to you to then teach you? Like he can't do that. Like he needs to be going out and doing things so he can actually teach you stuff, right? And I think a lot of people see fatherhood too much of the time that you just need to be around your kid all the time, right? I was like, oh, the father is absent. I'm like, bro, if I see my kid barely, but I am dropping the most insane gems about reality in the world to him, he's gonna be fine. He doesn't need to see me all the time. He needs to know in fact, the child not seeing the father all the time is good because it teaches the child, especially if it's a son, it teaches the son from an early age that being a father means you're going out and fighting wars on behalf of your family or for the betterment of your family rather than okay, you're just around all the time. When that's not the case, because when you're older, what will end up happening is that you think to be a good man or to be good to others, you must be around them all the time, but you can't be around people all the time and be important to the world at the same time. Like you have to choose one because your time is finite. It's not infinite. So that's more what it takes to be a good father and just to be a good man to the people you care about, even your family. You know what I'm saying? It's not about being around them all the time. It's about the quality of time that you have with them. And actually, I'm gonna let him. I actually no. This is actually important. I actually want to go over this real quick for you guys. So you actually want to keep your family at arm's length, especially as an ambitious guy who's trying to accomplish his goals and become the pinnacle of his craft. You actually want to keep your family at arm's length. And the reason for this is because every family got drama going on. Like, let's be real. Everybody's family got drama. This person got beef with this person, whatever issue. Like, everybody's got their own bullshit going on in their family. So the thing is, you shouldn't not love your family because I don't want you to put yourself in a position where you cut off your family, you hate your family, you never talk to them, and then as their life goes on, as you achieve things, accomplish things, you're still in the back of your mind and be like, you know what? I want to be able to rekindle things with them. I want to be on good terms with them because you guys, you only get one family. You only get one. You don't get to have another family. You didn't get to choose them, but you also only get one family. And family is just important for that structure. You do want to have people who might not be the best people, but deep down they still care about you. You know what I'm saying? Your family might not be perfect. You might not have the best circumstances. You might have not have grown up in the best circumstances, but at the very least, in a real dire situation, your family has your back to a degree. So I don't want you to cut them off, say fuck them or whatever. What I do want you to do though is keep them at a distance. Rarely see them. Never stay around them too long that you get overly invested in family drama or family issues, or they start trying to force expectations on you. And this is where the real problems lie, where your family member says, oh, no, you should move this way. Oh, you should be working this or that hard or whatever. Nope, you can't fuck with that. Because when the expectations from your family members start to influence your brain, it will cause you to make moves that are not in the best interest of your goals. And you're the only one who can give your success to yourself. Nobody can define what success looks like for you. So that means you can't allow the expectations of others to infiltrate your mind when you're making decisions. This is also what can cause you to rush on accident or make moves that are not in the best. of your interest for the long term because you're making moves on behalf of other people. So this is why you actually want to keep your family at arm's length. You want to make sure, okay, you rarely see them. You pop in and out. You never stay around too long. You say hi to everybody. You have the good vibes. You know when like you're first seeing somebody for you haven't seen them for a long time. Everything is great because it feels so new. It's like, I haven't seen you. How are you? Blah, 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 blah. Like you want to stay long enough in any family event or when you're around your family, just enough for that. But you don't want to stay too long where you start getting into deep conversations and then the expectations on you start to form. Like you don't want to do that. You want to keep them at a nice arm's length. You love them, you care about them, but you keep them far enough away that you can focus on your mission and your goals because only you can give yourself that. And this is your life to live. You're not living on behalf of them. You're living for you. So always keep your family at a distance. That's when your family's going to be at their best when you're at a distance from them. When you're at a distance from them, basically. Like when you're at a distance from them, that's when your family's always at your best. When you're always around them, horrible. So always just keep that in mind when it comes to family as a guy who's ambitious and trying to achieve his goals. Like you don't want to be around them niggas all the time.
Because I'm potent. And it's the same with my children. My father raised me that way. My dad could be home an hour a week because he was my dad. Now, there's other dads who'd say, you're a bad dad. I'm home all the time. You're a couch potato. You ain't raising your son being a couch potato. You may be there, but you have no impact because you don't matter. I have stories to tell. I'm fighting the Matrix. I'm interesting. So I would argue, same with Elon. Let's apply it to Elon. Anyone who says Elon can't be a good father because he has so many kids is an idiot. You think Elon, with his influence and his brain and his capabilities and his achievements, can't see his children for a few hours and make them.
And then he could just drop insane lessons for them, my nigga. Like he could just drop the most insane lessons ever. You know, compared to like if you're just a random nigga and you're around your kid all the time, you can't explain. What are you going to tell them? If you're around your child all the time, what is there to teach them or tell them? You don't do anything, right? This is the destiny of doers. When you do things, you learn important lessons that you could pass on to others. That's the whole point, right? So why would you want to be around your children all the time? I don't even understand that. Like why? What is the point? You can love your kids without being around them all the time.
Massive impact on them. You think his children aren't going to grow up and know that his dad is the first person to colonize Mars and be proud of his last name? Of course they will. Of course. Yeah. If you want to be a couch potato and sit at home and have no stories to tell and no capabilities and think that makes you a better father, well, then you're just an idiot. And you're not even raising your kids because YouTube's raising your kids or the school's raising your kids. You're sitting there jerking off the porn and watching fucking sports with Dave fucking, what's his name?
Portnoy.
Dumbass. Dave Dumbass.
Sports is honestly, I can't like, at least growing up, I used to love watching soccer, but that's only because I wanted to be a professional soccer player. But if you have no ambitions in sports, watching sports consistently is so stupid. Like following sports teams, sports betting, all that shit is so fucking dumb. Like all your time and attention should be going to things that motivate you and inspire you to work harder for your goals in real life, for your real life goals. You should not be watching, because at least for me, this is what I do. Personally, I enjoy watching anime a lot. Anime has inspired me a lot in my life to accomplish a lot of great things in my physical life. So I do watch it regularly. Not like maybe just watch it. I kind of just read it. I'll just be reading manga. That shit helped me out a lot. But basically, for me, I read manga because it keeps me motivated and inspired to achieve shit in my real life because I've just grown up watching anime and it's always inspired me to do more, right? Even watching anime has helped me understand my purpose to a deeper level. So you should only ever be watching or consuming content that is making you want to take action towards your goals in real life. This is why I kind of see sports as, for the most part, as a psyop, because it just distracts you from your real life. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you are really just watching millionaires kick around the ball for your entertainment. Sure, it's entertaining, but it doesn't really teach you anything. It's just entertaining you, right? And if you're not trying to become a professional athlete or a professional soccer player, whatever the profession is for whatever sport you're watching, then what the fuck are you watching it for? Like, what's the point? You're just really just wasting your time and energy that could be used watching something that could at least be teaching you something or educating you, you know?
You're jerking off over porn. So these people aren't better fathers than me. That's an attack vector they're going to use against me. Of course. I'm not saying I don't see my children. I'm saying they don't matter. I'm saying that I believe with my financial capability and with my achievements, I can have a whole bunch of children. I can put them all on private jets in and out and see all 10 in a day if I need to. And I believe I have a large enough impact on them. My children listen to me and they respect me and their mothers are happy. That's my view.
You're saying quality time is way more important than quantity of time.
I'm saying your capability of a man as a man in all realms. Your capability as a man reduces the amount of time you need to spend there. Look at a
Yeah.
CEO. A CEO can spend an hour a week in a business. He's the CEO.
Because naturally, in fact, that's just what happens. Like, one thing that I've learned, and shout out to Alex Hormozy for this, that he was like, excellence comes from deletion. Basically, the better you get at something, the less effort you put into it. Like, basically, this is how instinct works. You guys aren't like, okay, so when you're able to do something instinctively, it's because you've done the thing over and over and over and over and over again so much. Like, if you're doing something new for the very first time that you've never done before, obviously you're thinking a lot more. And you're thinking a lot more because it is new. Like, when you're doing something new that you've never done before, you think a lot more. But the thing is, as you keep doing the thing, you end up having to think less when you do said thing. Let's take walking, for example, right? The first time you've ever walked, the first time you've ever started walking, like, it was the hardest thing that you've ever done in your life, like walking or like getting yourself to take your first steps when you were a toddler or whatever. You were like, it was taking all your mental energy and bandwidth to make sure you stay on your 2 feet and start walking. But if you teleport to yourself right now, you walk like nobody's business, right? So because you've walked so many times that it's just subconscious that you're doing. So basically, it's just you're doing it subconsciously. So what I mean here when I say is that excellence comes from deletion, it basically means is the better you end up getting at something, the less you need to think about it or pay attention to it because you're good at it. It's just subconscious. And this is just human development in a nutshell. So you only really know you are actually getting better at something if you're doing it with a lot less thought, or you need to apply a lot less thought while you do it because you've gotten so efficient or good at doing said thing. You just do it and you just there's no thinking behind it, right? So that's how you ensure or make sure to yourself or know you're improving at something, is by not having to think anymore. And the way you get to that point where you don't have to think anymore and you're just operating or moving instinctively is by training. If you do something over and over and over again for a million times, eventually you get so good you don't have to think anymore. Hence the walking example that I just gave. So keep that in mind when it comes to getting better at shit. You want it to become instinctive because that means you can now also, too, real quick, that means you also could do more things now because things that used to take a lot of your mental bandwidth don't take it up anymore because it's become instinctive. So now you can add in new things, and this is how you just improve in general.
CEO. It's different than if you're a normal guy. You got to be there all the time.
All right, hold on. I'm going Prezi mode. Forgot to go Prezi mode.
I believe that potency as an individual allows you to speed run things.
Hell
you can
yeah.
speed run fatherhood. You can speed run being a boss. These CEOs who have 20 companies and they just turn up once a month because he's the boss. It matters when he's there. And it's the same with me being a father.
PBD, is this something you agree with right here? Because you spend a lot of time with your family. I mean, you spend
which is a good thing. By the way, that's a fantastic thing. And there's nothing that makes me happier than being with my family and my children.
Yeah, I mean, once again, it's just more about the quality of lessons that you can pass on when it comes to children. Like, when it comes to, like, people associate time with value too much is the problem. They think the more time you're spending with someone or something, the better the relationship is, and that's just not true. It's more of the quality that is being gained from the time being spent. Like, basically, you can do something at a high quality with a high quantity, and that's pretty much the ideal. The problem is we just don't have enough. We don't have an infinite amount of time on the planet. So naturally, it's more about, at least when it comes to children or being a father, like, are you passing on the best possible lessons you can to your children with as little amount of time as possible? If you like spending time with your family, that's not an issue. That's even a good thing if you have so much intelligence to give them. If you have a ton of wisdom, like, for example, this is why most guys would do whatever it takes to go get Jeff Bezos's coffee or get Elon Musk or ask or would DM Elon Musk and be like, hey, can I just get your coffee every day? Because they fundamentally understand if I can just be around someone who's at such a high level, it would instantly put me in a good position, right? Because think about it, guys. If you were able to just get around the richest man in the world and just hang out with him, wouldn't you get richer by extension? Because you would learn the lessons from watching him work. Even if you were just getting him his coffee, even if he never talked to you, you were just doing things for him. By seeing the way he moves and how he thinks, you would learn things that you can apply to your own life, right? So when it comes to even then being a father and taking care of your children, that's where it comes down to, where it's like, okay, if you're just around them, if you're around them and you have a lot of quality lessons to give, then that's amazing. But if you're around them all the time and you have nothing to teach them, that's not good. You need to be using that time to go do important shit and then tell them shit. But if you have nothing to tell them and then you're around and you're around them all the time, you're not helping them. So at least from PBD's perspective, if he's around his kids all the time, well, PBD has done very well for himself. He's made a lot of money. He has a very successful podcast. So him being around his kids is actually a very good thing, because he can spread down a lot of wisdom to them in terms of achieving things and accomplishing certain things. So that's where really it comes down to.
I just have a bunch of them.
Yeah, but let me tell you on what he's saying. A part of it for me, I wrote 4 things down. Intentionality as a father. If you're intentional, one day my dad, before I'm having kids, I'm having a conversation with them. I'm like, listen, for many years, I saw you once a week. I calculated how many days I saw my dad from the day I was born till I was 18 years old. It was like 500 days.
Really?
I only saw him 500 days. It was once a week. And then when my parents got a divorce in Germany, I never saw him, never even talked to him once for 18 months. And when I came here, they got a divorce. I saw him once every other week for 1 day. So you're talking about what? 26 days a year. 26 days a year for 5 years. Do the math. I've seen the guy 500 days from 0 to 18. He's my hero. He lives with us, right? I asked him, I said, do you regret any of it? He said, not at all. I said, why not? I said, look at the man you are today. You're independent. You're a leader. You're all this other stuff. But let me tell you something here.
And that's my whole point here. It's just like, he didn't need to see you and you became great. How much credit you give to him is up to you, because obviously nobody could live his life for him and see what he was seeing. But that's the whole point here. It's like, quality of time matters more than the quantity of time that you're going to spend with your kids, guys. Like, that's how your mind should be when it approaches the idea of being a father. It's not about, oh, I need to be around my kid all the time. It's like, it's more, so you shift from, I need to be around my kid all the time, to, how can I give my kid the best quality lessons for them to become successful in life? And that doesn't mean you need to spend 3 hours a day with them every day. It can mean 1 hour a week. You can drop insane game 1 hour a week. Hell, this stream that I'm doing right now is only 1 hour, and I'm trying to give you guys the most game I possibly could based on my perspective and the way I'm seeing shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's always about the quality. You have to think about the quality of time. Like, do I actually have powerful lessons that I could give my kid that would make them accomplished? That's really what that's how the game is honestly played. So
that I think Vinny and Adam, you guys are going to get emotional when I play this clip. Have you seen what Gene Hackman said about his father?
No.
Gene Hackman just died at 95 years old. Nominated for 5 movies, 5 Oscars, right? I think he won 2 of them.
That's
phenomenal actor. I don't think anybody disputes how great of an actor he was. His house, were one time at Pebble Beach, the guy says, that's Gene Hackman's $30 million house. This is like 12 years ago. He's asked here about his father. In this interview, he's 78 years old. I want you, by the way, did you even know I was going to play this clip? Rob, did you show him the clip, or they haven't seen the clip?
Who's 78?
So Gene Hackman died at 95. This is him at 78. This
17
is
years ago,
17 years ago. The interviewer is a great interview. This Insider Actor Studio does a great job. He asks him about his dad, who walked away at 13 years old. Look how this 78-year-old alpha winner reacts to that question. Go ahead, Rob.
How old were you when your father left? Well, my dad left us when I was about 13, I guess.
Was it easy, hard?
No, it was tough.
Tough. I've read that there was a sort of casual wave goodbye.
Yeah, I was down the street playing with some guys, and he drove by and kind of waved, and
bro went to go get the milk, bro.
That was it.
He didn't even say anything about milk, bro. He just waved.
Were you close to your mother?
Yeah. Excuse me.
Did life change radically?
It's only been 65 years or so.
Wow. Still affects them at 78.
That pause.
And even that must goes to show, that's what I'm saying. Like, the fact that he can be thinking that long about his dad must have shown that the quality of information that his dad gave him during that little time he was with him was so valuable that he could think of, even with him not being present. Like, He was given a message so powerful by his father that he's still thinking about that shit. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's about the quality you pass on to your children. It's not about the time. You don't even need to be there all the time. I'm telling you, you get 5 years with your kid where you talking, you give them the most. Think about it. If you're a super accomplished man, you accomplish many great things in your life. You learn very many lessons. You gain a ton of wisdom, and then you have children. Even if you were to spend 5 years with your child, you could give them the most life-changing, insane game ever during those 5 years. Never see them again, and they become very accomplished, and then they'll turn out like this guy and be like, you know what? Bro, when my dad left, bro, that was horrible. I still think about that man because I think about he said this. I think about him saying that, this, whatever, because those things actually changed my life. This is why, like, every single time, as I mentioned earlier in the stream, whenever you're thinking, it's always like, or what a lot of people post on social media, this is what they'll say. They'll like, what your dad never taught you. So it's like, that's the role of the father is just there to teach you. He's not there to be there. He's there to teach. So every single time that he's there, he teaches you something. And I think everybody who wants to be a father should aspire to be that way, because why wouldn't you be? Like, you should be there to want to teach your children. You're not there just to be around them and hang out with them. You're there to teach them lessons that will make them capable individuals later. The female or the mom is there for the nurturer side, to be there and make sure everything's okay and they're well taken care of. But you're there to teach them shit. So
I know that he pictured that moment with his friends and his dad just going, peace out.
And that's beautiful. And I'm about to cry now because I miss my father every single day.
mm-hmm.
But I haven't left my children, and I will never leave my children, and I'm there for my children. And you said a very important word there. You said intentionality. I think that's important because if my sons come over for 2 days, for those 2 days is very intentional parenting. It's very focused. It's very directed. I would argue that Andrew Tate, for 2 days, focused and directed, will be a better influence on boys than 12 hours a day, every day, for most of these normal dudes sitting around on the couch ignoring their kids. So we have to keep in mind intentionality and potency. And we also have to keep in mind financial capability. Elon can raise 14 children. He can simply afford it. Correct. I can simply afford to have 14 kids. These kids are not abandoned in any way. I speak to them on the phone every single day.
I ain't gonna lie. Niggas be having like 8 kids and not giving a fuck without even financially affording it. So, all right, white guys, what's y'all excuse, bro? You're like, oh, I need money, but niggas are having kids. They don't care. They got to get put on whatever welfare, or whatever. They still had the kids, bro.
I see them all the time. 2, 3, 4
Not saying that niggas are being good fathers, but kind of like, you know what I'm saying?
Times a week. So this is just another attack vector that's used against me because, you know, it's hard to call me stupid, and it's hard to call me broke, and it's hard to call me unsuccessful. So the easiest attack vector on me is to call me a bad person. So they simply say Andrew Tate's bad. Well, why is he bad? Oh, because he doesn't see his kids. How the fuck do you know? How the fuck do you know? Oh, because he hates women. Says who? Oh, I made a joke. Sure, I made a joke. I hate women. Well, how come I have so many women around me?
Bro, I actually hate the word hate so much. Like, this is what's strange to me. That when people use the word hate or talk about the word hate, if someone says, oh, you hate this person, you hate black people, you hate white people, you hate whatever, what does that even mean? To hate someone? Like, what does that even really mean? And what is wrong with hating someone? Moreover, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you're not supposed to hate that individual. And this even gets deep into like the whole racism shit, because people are like, oh, I don't like racist people. I'm like, okay, what is wrong with racist people? Oh, they hate people for their skin color. I'm like, okay. But everyone that I've seen that someone has claimed to be racist, it's just an individual who's critical of another race. This usually tends to be white people to black people. So it's like, okay, I don't like what these niggas are doing. Like, niggas are doing these things. Niggas are violent, and I don't like that. But what a lot of black people will do, who have a victim mindset, they'll see that or hear that, and they'll be like, you're racist. You hate black people. No, he hates the behavior that black people commit. They don't like the behavior. If they really hated the skin color and you, they would just kill you. I need you guys to understand something. People who hate people don't want to talk. Like, think about it. If you hate someone, you just want to do something bad to them. You'll just go, just like this guy in New York City yesterday. Literally just like this guy in New York City yesterday. It seemed like the issue that he had was with the NFL, right? So he literally walked up into a building in New York, rifle out, broad daylight, walked up in there knowing I want to come in here and kill somebody that I don't like. That's what people who hate people do. People who hate people just go out and kill niggas. That's what they do. If you don't like someone, like people who are actually racist just go out and kill black people because they hate them or don't like them. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, more often than not, everyone that I've seen ever on the internet, and so I think everyone is just like stupid. I don't understand it. Every single time I've seen it on the internet, it's almost like every single time someone's like, oh, this person's racist. You go do a little bit of research on them, and they're like, nah, I just don't really like when black people do this particular behavior. I'm like, what is racist about that? So now we're not even able to criticize what people do because we are what we do. We're not what we think we are or what's going on in our mind at all. We are what we do. Like people will describe you based off what you do. Hey, this is this person and this is what he does, rather than, oh, whatever. So it's super important to understand that when someone claims somebody is racist or any of the buzzwords, transphobic, homophobic, whatever, realize that they can't be, because people who are evil, people who actually hate people, do bad things to people, bro. They actually want to see people get hurt. Realistically, they don't want a conversation. People who just speak about their grievances, they want a conversation. That's the whole point why they speak their grievances. So just keep that shit in mind, bro. I'm telling you. Bro, dropping a Bible verse in the chat. Lord God Almighty, coming soon, repent. Oh, we love God over here, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. You know what I'm saying? Got it. Where the Jesus piece on? Where I have to prove my loyalty through cheap merchandise. I got my cross on me right now. Oh nah. Anyway, let's continue.
If I hate them and I'm such a bad person, I'm so mean. Oh, but he was accused. Accused by who? Romania? Like, this is all garbage, right? There's nothing I enjoy more than being a father. I love being a father and I love raising my children. I think it's the most beautiful thing on the planet. I always say to people, there's nothing more important than having kids. I advocate for it all the time. And I would argue Elon does the same. But I'm also a full-grown man with a mission to complete, and I have lots to do. And sometimes I cannot be sitting at home with the kid.
But that's good, because that's the only way you can teach your children anything. You can't teach your children anything if you don't do anything. It's like, that's just what it is. You can't spend all your time with them if you actually want to be able to teach them things. Because if you spend all your time with them, you don't end up learning anything. This is also why you should never listen to women, because women will try to domesticate you. They'll be like, oh, no, calm down. Don't do that. Don't do this. Don't do whatever. This is what women do. This is okay. Let me actually even explain this in detail. One of the prime reasons as to why listening to women is bad is because they will turn you into someone that they do not like. Think about it. Women want your time and attention, correct? Like when you're with a girl, when you're dating a girl, she wants to be around you. She wants to hang around you. She wants to hang out and do whatever. And usually chill, not hang out doing something. Obviously, some girls are more active than others, but even if they want to do things, it's not really productive things like you becoming stronger, faster, smarter, and making money. Like women will just want your time and attention, so you hang out with them, especially when you're in a relationship with them. But the problem is the danger comes in when you start listening to them. They're like, when you're trying to leave and go do something important, she's like, no, come, stay chill. Let's watch another gay ass Disney movie. Let's cuddle. Let's do whatever. Right? At first, you might think this is harmless. Like, I mean, yeah, it's my girl, man. My girl just want to hang out with me. Let me just go, you know what I'm saying? Let me just go cuddle with her, watch some dumbass Disney movie. Right? But as you keep saying yes to this, what's happening? Your masculinity starts getting eroded. You're not working as hard. You're not making as much money. You're not taking care of your body as much. You're not eating as well as you should be. You're not as radicalized to achieve great shit, right? And the problem with this is she will slowly start losing attraction to you for this reason. Because the problem with women is they're always attracted to superior and capable men is the thing. You understand? And because they're always attracted to superior and capable men, what they'll end up doing is when you start simping for her, basically, and you start listening to her, because also as a side note, women have a dual mating strategy, meaning they want a superior and capable man, but they also want a man who's going to take care of them. So this is the problem with listening to them, is that they'll beg you to do things that will make you take care of them and listen to them and adhere to them. But the problem is they're also attracted to a guy who is capable. So basically their desires are constantly conflicting. And this is where the issue really lies in listening to them, because they'll tell you to do things that make you less capable while also still wanting a capable man. which is why you have to resist her desire. Because if you keep saying yes, you get comfortable, you start chilling, you're less ambitious, you're less in shape, you're eating like shit, yada, 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 you're becoming less attractive and arousing to her. So what ends up happening is she'll be like, this is where she starts with the bullshit like, I don't know, like something just feels off in our relationship. You're just different now or whatever. And you're like, bitch, what the fuck? I've just been doing all the shit that you wanted me to do. See, that's where the problem lies. You listened too much. That's the whole goal here. You can't listen, or that's what ruins your relationship. That's what, because women, if you listen to women, they will lead you to the end of the relationship because they will make you so weak and feeble that you're not capable of anything anymore. And they'll go find a capable man who they'll try to, funny thing, do the same thing with again. But just keep this in mind, guys, that you never listen to women's desires. You still stay focused on your mission and your purpose only ever. No matter how much you say, oh, come stay with me, come chill with me, let's just watch some movie. No, like, bitch, I gotta go. I got work to do. Telling you. Because if you're not, you're cooked. This is also why I think it's dumb living with women too. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should just never want to live with a girl ever. Because this is the kind of shit that will happen. She'll make you soft. It's just, you want to avoid this shit at all costs, y'all. You never want to put yourself in that kind of position ever. So just keep that in mind. Anywho, we continue.
Playing kid things because I have to do big, important things. And my son will call me after he's finished karate and he's beat some kid's ass. And I'll say, good job. You're living up to the Tate name. Now I have to go beat the prosecutor's ass. And we're warriors. And I'll see you in 2 days. The jet will be waiting. See you soon, son. And everyone's going to attack me and insult me. And that's fine.
And even then, that's a lesson to be learned. It's just like you're literally teaching your kid how to be important and productive. I don't know how anyone would have a problem with that, which is just like, what the fuck?
Is that very interesting, what your father said about who the man you are today, right? Can't you judge by results? Isn't that how we're supposed to operate anyway? The whole scientific method is
that's how we
X,
always
Y, Z,
operate.
what is the outcome? So your father did what he did to make you who you are. I saw my father about the same, and I am who I am.
Mm-hmm.
And I see my kids more than my dad saw me. And also, I have a lot more financial capability and fame and influence than my dad had. And he managed to raise me one of the most influential people on the planet. So I'm very sure my kids will be fine. And all my haters and detractors, the little pastor in Nebraska who thinks he's a tough guy, I would argue, and I state this is not hyperbole. I would argue that my sons will beat your sons in any competition you can name. My children are smarter than yours, and they'll beat the shit out of your boys. And I fucking guarantee it. And I'll also guarantee in 20 years from now, you're going to see the UFC roster, Tate. So you can hate me all you want. But when the results
That's
are
fucking
world
wild.
champions, when the results are endlessly influential males, which continue to fight the matrix as I grow old, it doesn't matter what you say. What matters is the end result. And my children are being bred for war. My sons don't do what your sons do, Mr. Pastor.
It's always about capability and quality. This is why I also say that power is everything. You see, a lot of times we like to convince ourselves or lie to ourselves that other things matter in life as a man. And this is really super important, especially as a man. Like, we try to convince ourselves that, and I just think it's just because of the product of society that we live in with masculinity getting eroded, of course, but we try to convince ourselves as men that other things matter more than power and influence, when in truth, that's all that ever matters, right? This is why money is everything and status is everything and power is everything, because without money, status, and power, you can't really solve any problems, right? You can't fix things or do things for anyone if you're not powerful, capable, influential at all. What can you do for anybody? We're judged based off how useful we are as men. We are born with the burden of performance, understand? And it's because we are born with a burden of performance, we have to perform. And everything that we do that does not increase our capability or does not make us better performers is actually a distraction. And this is also why I believe that so many young men are not able to reach their max potential or reach the pinnacle of their life, because they have so many things that they can distract themselves with from the fact that they are a loser and they are incapable. Right? When you can go out as a young guy, especially in your early 20s, when you could just go out, party, drink, smoke, scroll on TikTok all day, scroll on social media all day, right? When you could just watch movies, watch sports, watch all these different things, like you can be entertained in so many different ways. Why would you suddenly have a ridiculous amount of hunger and motivation to become as capable as possible? You just wouldn't, because there's so much that you can do that can shield you from the fact that you're a loser, which is why I say the only way that you can become as capable as possible is if you can feel the distance between you now and the success and level of success that you want to see in your own life. It's like you have to feel the distance. If you never feel the distance, you never get the power, the pain, or you never get that feeling of pain and suffering that you need to push you to that level. You need to feel the full distance. You need to sit at the bottom of the mountain and see how high the mountain is. You have to see it. So you know you can digest what you have to go through to get to the peak. You have to see it. But a lot of guys never get to see the full mountain because they can do all this other dumb shit. They can chase hoes. They can play video games, right? They can sit and watch sports all day. They can just sit in their mom's basement, right? There's so many other things that you can do that can distract you from becoming as capable as possible. And that's why you're not capable. And this means that the only way you can become a winner is if you feel like a loser. And in order to feel like a loser, you have to get rid of everything in your life that distracts you from it. This is why you can't go clubbing. This is why you can't be partying all the time. This is why you can't play video games. This is why you can't just be chasing hoes all around. This is why you can't be sitting and watching sports all day. This is why you can't do any of these quote unquote fun things, these living life things. So why you can't just be traveling for no fucking reason. This is why you can't do these things. Because when you remove all these things from your life, you realize how much you actually suck. You realize you're a loser and you have no clout, no influence, no capability, no money, no anything. This is good. You want to feel that because it makes you angry, right? You feel frustrated by feeling that. You'd be mad to think to yourself, I'm like, damn, I fucking suck, bro. This kind of my life, I'm kind of shit. I'm not very smart. I'm not very capable. I'm not rich. I'm not influential at all. I'm not charismatic. I'm not extroverted. If those are skills and abilities that I want, I don't have these things. And now that you know you don't, now you can spend all your time working for these things. And that's the whole point. When all the living your life and live up your 20s and fuck around your 20s goes away, when all those activities, you don't do that shit anymore. Now all your time and attention can be focused on becoming as capable as possible. And this is how you end up living a very lit life as a man. Because when I started with this monologue, power is everything. And the only way you can gain power is to know you're powerless, because that's what will give you the drive and the hunger to seek it. Right. So you got to remove all the distractions from your life, bro. You really fucking do. Because if you don't, you will never know you're a loser. And even though it sucks to feel like a loser, it's the only way you can become a winner. How can you become a winner if you don't know you're losing? No, I really let that sink in. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. How can you know? How can you become a winner if you don't know you're a loser? You can't. It's impossible. You have to know you're losing to start wanting to win, or to change your behavior to win. So let that just sit in your mind a little bit. But let's continue.
My sons don't scroll YouTube aimlessly. My sons don't go to school and be programmed with garbage. My sons spend 12 hours a day every day preparing for their future life, which is going to be similar to mine. Nothing but heartache and stress and war. My sons are ready to go to jail now at 5. Let's put the 5-year-old in jail, Tate. They're ready at 5. At 5, they're like, yes, sir.
What the fuck? Man, they ready to go to jail at 5. Fuck you, man, bro. See, my niggas, my kids, bro, they gonna be ready to go to jail at contraception. The minute that the sperm cell has went into the egg, just ready for danger and war. Just gotta one up niggas, bro.
If they say I have to go, sir, yes, sir. Yes, sir. My children, I can say to my sons, sit down. And I can tell them to sit down in quiet, without an iPad, without a TV, and they will sit still for 5 straight hours and just sit there.
See, now my kids gotta be colder than his kids, because this shit pissing me off, bro. I'm gonna need to be able to do that now. I want my kids to fight his kids, because when I have kids, because I'm 24 now. It really just depends on how rich and influential I become in the next 10 years. Because I probably want to start having kids somewhere in my 30s. So, but if he's having kids right now, and they'd be 1, and then I won't have kids for 10 years. So his kids will be around 10 when mine are just getting born. So they'd be 1. So by the time my kids would be competing against his kids would be 10 years later, when my kids are probably in their 20s and his kids are probably in their 30s. Well, it depends on how long he's having kids, though. Anyway, I want my kids to fight Tate's kids. That would be so fucking lit, bro. my kids would beat his kid's ass, bro. Obviously, because he's existed before me, so I can learn all the mistakes already and ensure my kids are cooking. But what's a good mentor if his students never surpass him? You know what I'm saying? That's what makes you a good mentor. And I think that's what I like about what I'm doing now. Like, to pass on all the wisdom and knowledge that I believe I have that could work for niggas, which should work for niggas because I'm the realest nigga of all time. But the thing with it is, like, you would hope that everybody that you teach or pass on information to surpasses you. Because the thing is, that's how information is always supposed to work. You know what I'm saying? Like, everyone who's existed before you, and this is also why I always say that, like, everyone who exists ahead of you, like everybody you look up to, right? People you look up to are people who have achieved the level of success that you want to achieve. They're actually just stepping stones for your ass. That's why they exist, because they are doing things that you want to do. And more than likely, they're speaking about the lessons that they have learned to get where they want to go. So the thing is, you as a young guy, you see those lessons and you take them and you apply them to your life instantly, because this is how you get to where they're at faster. And then obviously surpass them. They exist for you to surpass them. You're not supposed to be idolizing anyone or looking up to anyone and be like, oh my God, he's so great. No, it's about, hey, I need to absorb all their information so I can surpass them. It's almost like they're handing the torch to you by existing, because they're demonstrating what they have done and the lessons that they have learned. So you just want to look at what they've done, learn from the lessons that they have learned, learn from their mistakes, and you take it to apply it to your own life instantly now so you can surpass them. And then now somebody who's behind you will learn from your actions. And then they eventually surpass you, because the glory or in being a master or being a leader of men or of those below you is to set the tone for others to be able to surpass you. And this is why when you have wisdom, it's so important to spread said wisdom so you give everybody an opportunity to surpass you, because that's what it means to be a good master. Why would you want to be a master and you have horrible students, right? That's fucking stupid. Like, to be a good master, this means you want to create amazing students that surpass you in strength vastly, because it would be a credit to you that of how good of a teacher you were, or how deeply you studied, or how much you learned. So never have any idols. Never look up to anyone in a way. You want to see everybody as a stepping stone for your own development, and just look at everybody ahead of you and be like, okay, this is what they did. This is how they moved. This is what they learned. These are the mistakes that they made. Now that I understand that, I can move and get to where they're at way faster and then surpass them. And once you surpass them, you spread the knowledge back down again. And so now other men that are coming up will see you and be able to climb the ladder again, right? And the better you are as a teacher, the faster that they climb towards you and then surpass you as well. And that's how the game continues. That's how everyone gets better. That's the virtuous cycle of masculinity, right? A man becomes strong. He spreads his knowledge down. Other men learn, become stronger than him, and then repeat the cycle over and over again. So at least that's what I hope to do for you niggas with everything that I say and speak about. I'm trying to tell you everything that I possibly know, all the wisdom and knowledge that's in my brain and talent that's in my brain. I try to spread it all out, because then you niggas can move faster and surpass me faster. Not that I'm anything insane yet. I just know I will be. But now you have the opportunity to surpass me. And my words actually will be more powerful because I'm saying it when I'm not already all powerful. So others would be like, okay, this is very credible. I can listen to this and then surpass me. So that's just a real spill about what it means to be a master and a mentor. It's always about your students surpassing you, because you're a shit master if your students are never surpassing you. But even when you look at men who are above you and have achieved the level of success you want to achieve, don't idolize them. Don't be like, oh my God, I want to be them. No, it should always be, I want to surpass them. So let me learn from them. Yeah. That's good. Damn. That sounded cold as fuck. Yeah, that was cold, y'all. I know you're true. That sounded tough. Like, but it's true though. But it sounded tough though.
I told them to. They understand. This is my world, and you're being raised in it. I watch other children without an iPad. They're throwing a fit, won't eat their food, this garbage. All these people want to accuse me of being a bad parent. Look at your fucking kids. My kids are quiet on planes. My kids are in.
Yeah, one thing I actually realized that's wild is, like, thank God I did not grow up in the internet. Well, I mean, I guess I grew up with the internet, because that shit came out when I was in like 6th grade. So like when I was like 12. So I guess I did grow up with the internet, but like, I'm happy that I got to experience that, like, that ages between 1 years old and like 9 to 10 to 11 of just like no internet. Like, niggas, Bro, I remember back in the day when your homies would come and knock your door. Like somebody coming to your door and just knocking on your door was like a regular occurrence because motherfuckers were not like texting on their phone all the time. So somebody would just come and knock on your door. Like I'm so glad to have grown up in that age where like playing outside was such a normal thing. I mean, maybe when I drive around like the neighborhood, I feel like I just don't be seeing kids play outside no more. Or maybe I'm tripping, y'all. But I just feel like kids don't be playing outside like they used to do back in the day. This might just be just me just being nostalgic about this shit, but I just feel like kids just don't even play outside. I remember back in the day, like whenever you want to go see your homie, there's no texting or nothing, bro. You get up, you walk to their house at a random time during the day, you knock on their door, their parent shows up and be like, hey, can so-and-so come out and play, bro? He's like, oh yeah, he can come. And then y'all go start playing. Like that's how it was. Like I wonder what the kids nowadays do. Like the kids between the ages of like, I don't know, what age do you start playing outside? Like 5 to like 12 years old. I wonder what the kids between the 5 and 12 years old do. Like, do they still be like going up to their homie's house and just be knocking on the door to ask to play? Like, does that even happen anymore? Like, I just feel like it's always like, oh, let's hop on an actual game, like my gaming console, and just like play Fortnite or some shit like that. It's not like, oh, let me actually go to my homie's crib and then knock on his door and see like what he's got going on. Like, I don't know. It's strange, but that's just what I've noticed, bro. Like kids just don't even be playing outside anymore. I don't know how much that's hurt kids socially. I'll pay attention, a lot more attention to like my baby cousins and shit and see, because I kind of want to see, like, I'm going to ask them questions like, okay, well, do y'all still like play outside? Like, what y'all be on? Like,
A row. My kids are saying yes sir, no sir. My kids are quiet on command. My kids don't need entertainment. My kids are perfect. And I'm not just saying that as a father. I guarantee you, when you next see me and my children, you're gonna be like, he wasn't lying. My kids are soldiers.
yeah, train
So
them
don't worry
niggas,
about my
bro.
children. Worry about you.
Bro, I'm gonna be training. I'm gonna be introducing. Look, I'm gonna tell y'all. Let me show y'all. This how I'm gonna be introducing my son to niggas, bro, or my sons, because I'm gonna have hella kids, bro. I'm trying to have as many kids as possible. Hold on, let me find a clip. This is from Dragon Ball Z. So okay, Vegeta. Maybe y'all niggas have seen this before, but Vegeta introducing Trunks. Nah, this shit. This that real shit. Like, hold on. Let's pause this real quick. Like when Vegeta did this is how I'm gonna be introducing my kid, y'all. I'm telling you, this shit gonna be. Just listen to this shit, bro.
You should see the look on your face right now. How would you feel if I told you there's another like me? Huh? Allow me to introduce you to my son. His name is Trunks. He too is a true Super Saiyan. He's not quite as strong as I am, but it would be hard to tell the difference between us. He has incredible power. No, how can this be?
Like, imagine how tough that is. You just be introduced. That's my kid right there. That nigga cold. Yo, I'm gonna be oral farming so hard on my kid, bro. Like it's gonna be something ridiculous. Anyway, let's get back down to business, y'all. But that's how I'm be introducing my kid everywhere. I swear to God, bro.
Yours. And if you really believe that I'm a bad parent and you're better than me, I'll tell you what. Your son and my son can meet in the cage. We'll sell it.
I'm definitely having my kids fight his kids, bro. If he has any kids that are relative to the age of my kids, when I have kids in like, I don't know, like 10 years, then my kids are beating the fuck out of his kids. I'm gonna make sure, bro.
Girl kids in the cage.
And then I'm gonna come back to this stream that's long. I'm like, I said it, bro. I said this shit 10 years ago. They gonna beat your ass. Like
5, 10, 15, 20, 60. Doesn't matter. You tell me when your kid is ready, and my kid will beat the shit out of yours. And I'll beat the shit out of you.
Would you?
Anytime, any place. Father, son, Royal Rumble. Cole Dana.
That'd be ridiculous.
Anytime,
No, this
any
is lit.
place. Father,
Let's
son,
go.
Cole Dana.
Hulk
I
Hogan.
will get that pastor by his neck, and I will show him.
Nah, bro, because he gonna be like 48 when I'm like 38, bro. So he ain't beat my ass, bro. He ain't beat my ass, bro. I'll tell you that right now.
I will show him a man. I will get that pastor by his neck and finish him. And my son will do the same to his offspring.
Pat, I want to hear the rest of your list because you went to 1 and then he started doing 5-year-olds in cages.
I will finish them.
5-year-old.
Tate, do you believe in hitting your kids?
I believe in life.
Hell yeah. I definitely do. I think there's only benefits in whooping your children. And okay, this is actually something that I think is super important. Hold on. This is actually what I really believe about whoopings. And I think I mentioned this in another stream before. Okay. So the reason why I think it's actually super important to whoop your children or whoop the shit out of your children is because it forces them to develop their prefrontal cortex. And basically what the prefrontal cortex does is this is what controls decision making and problem solving, right? And the thing is, when a kid is whooped for making a bad decision, it forces them to start weighing risk and reward from certain behaviors. You see, kids who you will see that are acting wild or acting out have never had serious punishment in their life. So, meaning they don't really consider their decisions because they've never really seen consequences for their behavior. If I'm a kid and I can just do whatever I want and I never get in trouble, obviously I'm never going to be really weighing consequences. I'm not really going to be problem solving. I'm not really going to be thinking all that much. But the thing is, when your children are actually whooped for doing bad things, what happens as a child? You instantly start thinking about the decisions that you make. Because I can even remember for myself as a kid when I used to get whooped, I used to think to myself, I'm like, okay, if I make this move, bro, my mom's gonna whoop my ass. If I make this move, my dad's gonna whoop my ass. So whatever move I'm about to make, it better be worth the whooping. And when I'd weigh it and I'd realize, yo, making this move is not worth the whooping, I'm not doing that shit. Right? That level of problem solving was developed simply because I was whooped. But the thing is, if you have no consequences for your behavior or your actions, you never consider that anymore. Your prefrontal cortex is less developed because you're not thinking about your behavior. You're just doing whatever you want to do. You're doing whatever you feel like because you never experience consequences. But consequences is what allows you to get smarter. You start to weigh things. You start to actually develop thinking. So this is why I think it's so valuable to whoop the shit out of your children. Like, your kid needs to feel a very aggressive and physical consequence for doing something bad. So it forces them to grow up. It forces them to be like, nope, this is the real world. When you do something you're not supposed to do, a bad thing can happen to you. So you actually have to think about your actions. And that's basically the crux of what I'm trying to get here. Getting whooped as a kid forced you to start thinking about your actions, which ultimately would make you smarter as you grow up. Because now you're not just doing whatever you want. You're considering that when you do something, something bad could happen, compared to a kid that never got whooped. So they never considered the consequences of their actions, meaning they would do horrible or really bad things because they wouldn't consider that something bad could happen to them, which isn't a good thing. So yeah, I'm whooping the absolute shit out of my children, bro, because it helps them start thinking sooner in life.
There is a line in which violence appears. I want to make this very clear because people are going to try and misinterpret it.
Well, niggas
I do not believe in abusing children. I do not believe in beating children at all. But I believe in life. There is a line in which violence.
Whoop y'all kids, bro. It forces them to think. Not abusing, nigga. Obviously not. I'm saying when they do something they're not supposed to do, bro. Like, you need to show them that there's aggressive consequence. Even, and anyway, this is even what he's referring to talking about the line. It's like, you know, you're gonna whoop because eventually they're gonna cross the line. That's what kids do. Kids push boundaries. So no, yeah, you should be whooping your kids. What the fuck?
Violence appears, and this is true for everyone. People often say shouldn't hit girls. So yeah, right, shouldn't hit girls.
Hell no.
I'd never hit a girl. Say, well, that's not necessarily true. I'm sure if a girl turned up and set your house on fire and then killed your dog and then tried to stab you, you'd do something, right?
Yeah.
I mean, police officers shoot women when they charge at them with knives. Like, no.
Fair. No, I mean, fair. I mean, yeah. It's just like, at least I would say that with women, it's like weird. It's like, would I ever hit a woman? No, because I would never really put myself in a position where I would do it. But if there was a situation where she's going to try to kill me. So yes, in like extreme situations, would I hit a woman? Yeah. There's just just like, I wouldn't want to kill somebody, but in an extreme situation, when I kill somebody, hell yeah. Because sometimes you're in situations where you have no choice, you know. In really dire situations, it's hard to consider morality in your decision making, you know. So I agree with that much.
Nobody is off limits to violence. Yeah, there is a line that if you cross, violence appears. Sure. Now, do I hit my kids? No, because I don't have to. But would I? Sure. Mm-hmm. If I say, you better stop, and he disobeys.
So yeah, so I mean, you hit your kids there because I mean, at least eventually your kids do cross that line. Maybe obviously some kids, there's exceptions to the rule, but generally kids push boundaries. So they're going to eventually disobey you in a way that you don't like.
Me. You better stop. He disobeys me. I'm a man and you're a child, and I'm about to show you why. You don't want to find out. This is your last warning. If he defies me, he has crossed the line where violence will appear. Will he be hurt?
Good.
No. Will he suffer bruises and will he need to go hospital? Of course not. He'll be absolutely fine. But he will learn that there's a line.
He'll feel
Now,
pain,
we all
though.
know that as men. We all know if I get in your face and keep talking too much, sooner or later, we're going to fight. We all know that, right?
Mhm.
So how can I raise boys and not prepare them for the real world? The real world that we live in, not the false world that women want to live in, not the false world that liberals want to live in. In the real world, if you run your mouth, sooner or later, you're going to get checked.
Oh,
So you
God.
have to be prepared to fight for every single word you say or don't say it.
This is also why it's important to train some kind of martial arts for sure. Like to some degree, even if you just do shadow boxing in your room, which I do, which is effective for me, but you should be training some form of martial arts. I just think it's important to even have the idea, not that you need to beat somebody's ass, but just having the fact in your mind that you do know how to fight is just good. It just gives you a sense of confidence if a situation were to arise where you just had to fight. Obviously, you don't want to fight or do any street fights because you could die because niggas just gonna pull out a knife or a gun and you just die. Like you pulling up your fist and then they go pow, like stupid. But it's just important to learn some form of martial arts, whatever it's kickboxing, Muay Thai, whatever it is. It's important to learn some kind of martial arts as a man so you just have a lot of certainty and confidence, generally speaking, as you go through your life, because now you know you're in a situation where you have the capability to defend yourself if you have to. Hopefully you never have to, but just having the certainty that you can is just good. This is also why I need a gun, bro. Bro, seeing the NYC shooter situation that happened yesterday, bro, like it just reminded me, bro, like I need a firearm. Like I really, really do. You know what I'm saying? Because like this dude just walked up in a place with just a long gun and they didn't give a fuck, bro. Like some of these people shooting, bro, they're bold. And I think there was another situation in, what was it, Colorado or Nevada? Somebody was shooting somebody, bro. But like niggas be out here shooting, y'all. I tell you, like niggas be out here shooting, bro. So I need to get a firearm as soon as possible, bro. But yeah, like having just the ability to defend yourself aggressively, not wanting to do it, but having the ability gives you a sense of certainty and confidence that's good for you to have as a man, right? You should not be walking around as a man and feeling insecure like you can't defend yourself, which is why you should study a martial art and also get a firearm as well. Like literally do both. Like want to feel as protected as possible because it just gives you a nice level of certainty and confidence in yourself. Like all men should be like that. So,
And I think it makes me a good father to make it clear to my boys that if you want to talk tough, that's fine, but there will be consequences. Now, if you beat me up, then you can keep talking. If you beat me,
your son be nah, bro. You can't let your son beat your ass. Like if your son beat your ass, bro, oh fuck no. But in a way, you could be proud. Like you're mad that you lost your son, but at one time you're like, that's my boy. He beat my ass. You know what I'm saying? It's a good and bad thing when you really think about it. But yeah, funny though.
beat me, then you can talk.
Kids beating Andrew.
You want
You
some
say,
Pops?
respect to this
You want
kid.
some of this?
Yeah, I'll say to them, look, I've given you an opinion.
Nah, that's just money right there. Look, if you're getting beat up by your 5-year-old son, bro, like, hold on. All right. We need to get you in fucking UFC today, bro. Like, this is a money bank right here, my nigga. That's what I be thinking, bro. I ain't worried about the L, bro. This is a short-term L for a long-term W figuring this shit out. Like,
it seems there's an impasse here.
Yeah.
It looks like we have to go kinetic, sir. So if you beat me, then you can continue to tell me you want Cheerios. But I've said there's no motherfucking Cheerios.
mm-hmm.
So it is what it is. So the answer, truthfully, respectfully, would I hit my children? If they cross the line, yes.
Yes.
Am I psycho?
Whooping.
No. Have I had to
Whooping
hit my
the
kids
fuck out
thus
them
far?
kids.
No. But one of the main reasons I don't have to hit them is because they know.
Better whoop them kids, bro.
Oh, I would. Let's analyze this. This is important. One of the reasons I don't have to hit my kids is because they know I would. One of the reasons the police don't have to shoot you is because you know they would. If you knew the police would never shoot you, you wouldn't comply. You comply because
it's a threat of violence, which is why niggas that end up getting this is why it's so funny to me. Like, people who get shot by the police almost always deserve to get shot more often than not. Obviously, there's exceptions to the rule, but people who get shot by the police almost always deserve it. Because any sane individual, and I hope you niggas watching this are sane individuals, right? You understand that the police can shoot your dumb ass. You understand that. You're thinking, you're like, okay, yeah, the police, they have guns. For that reason, they can shoot me if I do something I'm not supposed to do. So for that reason, you usually comply. So people who tend to not comply with the police tend to be retards because they don't understand that a police officer can shoot and kill them. Because anyone who understands that's the case wouldn't become aggressive with an officer, wouldn't want to comply with an officer because they understand he could just shoot me and kill me. And so I just want you to keep you with a grain of, I just want you to have this as a grain of salt, because whenever BLM or whatever says, oh, police brutality or whatever the fuck, always think to your mind, okay, if a police officer shot someone, there's no way that this nigga was a completely upstanding individual who sat there in his car, wherever it was, and was like, my bad, officer, I didn't mean to do that. Are you going to write me a ticket? Whatever. Just sat there and listened and complied, whatever it was. Like, if you're ever hearing about, oh, there's police brutality or something, and you go find the video, it's always some dumbass nigga not complying with the police. The police is forced to use force. They don't know how the nigga's going to act or respond. They see a nigga reaching for something. It's a life or death situation. You have to think very quickly. You shooting a nigga. I'm gonna be honest. If somebody charges with you at a knife, are you going to be out here, oh, let me shoot this nigga in the leg or the foot or the hand? Fuck no. Because what if you shooting the nigga in the leg and he keeps charging at you and you get stabbed and you die? You think anyone's going to give a fuck? Like, oh, well, you should have shot him better. Like, that's just what's going to become. Like, that's why, like, for me, I have a lot of respect for police officers, because most people have never been in a life or death situation. Most people have never been in a life or death situation where somebody could potentially kill them. Most people haven't. So when they see a police officer shoot somebody, shoot to kill them, they're like, oh my God, that's so vile. Why would they do that? That's so brutal. But it's like, bro, when your life is at risk, it's like literally do or die. You can't, it's hard to have a strong sense of morality and accuracy and aim when you're in a high intensity life or death situation, because you're essentially fighting for your life. So always when you look at any police shooting or anything like that, always take that shit with a grain of salt and understand that, like, look, as an officer, you're put into a life or death situation, and you don't know if this criminal has a weapon, doesn't have a weapon. If they start acting erratic, it immediately becomes very scary for you because you don't know what they're about to do. Like, you think about it, you're an officer just trying to get somebody to comply. If you need to arrest them, fine. If you need to send them on their way, fine. That's all your job as an officer. That's really all you're trying to do to somebody, usually. So the thing is, if you're just trying to do those two simple things and you go into a nigga and he starts acting wild, he's like, oh, why you trying to arrest me? What the fuck? He starts moving like, nigga, you don't know if he crazy. Because if it was me and I see a nigga start, I'm not even wasting time. I think, you know what's funny? I think they actually did, there was some study or some practice or mock thing that they did where they had average pedestrians put them basically virtually into a police situation, like a traffic stop, where the individual was already acting very aggressive and agitated. And it's like every single time the pedestrian unloaded the fucking clip on that motherfucker, blew they shit smooth back. The minute the person that they were in the virtual reality with or whatever started acting very crazy, because it's like you think you're gonna die. So it's scary. It's like super fucking scary. This is also why I think women should never be officers, because they can't handle a man who's going to be aggressive. They're going to instantly start shooting. There's going to waste no time. But as a whole other thing. But the point is, this is why you should always, give some grace to officers, because I'm telling you, you niggas have never been in a life or death situation, and you won't understand until you've been in one that why these niggas shoot niggas. Because it's scary out in this motherfucker. Anyway, with that being said, actually, we'll stop there for today. We'll pick back up tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern time. So last but not least, let me shout out the socials. And I appreciate you niggas for pulling up to the live. Just shout out all the socials real quick. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. I appreciate you niggas watching me on YouTube. I appreciate you niggas watching me on X. Got 3 niggas watching me on X. Fuck with y'all boys. Make sure to fucking like the stream if you're fucking with your boy and fucking with my commentary and shit. But let me pull up so you niggas can see on stream the other socials. Hold up 1 sec. All right. Last but not least, bada bing, bada pow. My shit might be lagging right now, so my fault for that. I bet. So hold on. So first and foremost, of course, main shit I be posting. I'll follow the YouTube, man, at Ali Argundade, man. Try to blow this shit up, trying to grow the fam. I want more guys to become successful, become accomplished, reach the peak, the pinnacle of their craft and the peak of their masculinity. So I do the best that I can to teach y'all shit about doing that and how to succeed in an imperfect world. I literally just dropped this video today, so you guys can go check that shit out if you're dealing with a lot of overthinking in your life, or you're overthinking like shit and accomplishing shit in your life, this video can literally help you just realize, oh shit, I should just be moving and adapting rather than thinking, of course. So yeah. Fuck with your boy. Fuck with your boy on the U of the tube. I pull up the IG too. Y'all fuck with that shit too. IG too, same thing. Ali Gundade. I'll be dropping some funny skits on here, as well as just, nice success perspectives, or like changing your perspective on what it means to become successful and achieve your goals, of course, and just regular success tips as well. So follow your boy on there, Ali Gundade, man. And then let me show you how to XXX. I got 3 of you boys watching me on X. Fuck with y'all boys. Follow your boy on X. I be going really hard on X. I just be talking about everything on X. Like everything I see on my feed, I got some shit to say about that shit, bro, because I'm a real ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? Real niggas got everything to say about everything. So also I'll be dropping, insights on success. Same thing with like the thread type content that I put on Instagram as well. It's the same shit. So, but yeah, nah, man, fuck with your boy on X, because we got to grow the fam everywhere, man. I'm trying to blow up everywhere, of course. So got to go hard everywhere. So then last but not least is the app that is supposed to be banned, but isn't banned or never gets banned when it's supposed to be banned, is TikTok. So follow your boy on here. I'm trying to grow on here as well, reach a lot of the younger audience on here. So definitely like and follow, like all my vids on there. Follow me on there. Ali Argundati, you know what I'm saying? We got to blow up everywhere. Got to grow the fam everywhere. And yeah, and if you don't want to do none of that shit because you don't fucking like black people and you're racist, which I don't care. I love racism. I'm literally racist myself. But if you fuck with your boy, like the stream on YouTube, like it on Rumble, like it on X, wherever it is, so more guys can see this shit, understand me, know who I am, understand I'm the realest nigga of all time and the smartest nigga of all time, the most intelligent man on the planet right now. I'm gonna be honest, I'm literally the smartest man on the planet. Y'all niggas don't understand. But yeah, if you fuck with your boy, like the stream, follow up, make sure to put it on post notice. I try to go live every single night. I go live every single day at 6 p.m. Eastern time, so I can cook for y'all boys, be reacting to shit. And we'll definitely be expanding a lot more with the streams and doing more shit, of course. But yeah, so with that being said, I love you, fam. I don't love you niggas, that's gay. I fuck with you, fam. And I'm gonna catch you niggas in the next stream. Deuces.